We're back with Dr. Deborah Dorrell, a dermatologist at Novant Health Premier Medical Associates in Winston-Salem. All right, I've got the question of, do you have to wash your hair a specific amount of times in a week?
No, you do not. It's individual specific. I wash my hair every day and I don't feel bad about it. Other people, they can go every 2 weeks or every month. It really depends on how oily or dry your hair is.
Okay, and is it something where every time we wash our hair, we should also condition our hair?
Yes, you should. The shampoos can strip some of the natural sebum or oil from your hair, and the conditioner helps replace that so there's less friction and it feels smooth and shiny.
Okay, and is there like a common mistake that most of us make when it comes to our hair for hair health?
Well, I think people probably overuse hot tools, straightening irons, blow dryers, other things like that. I think they're fine to use on occasion, but try to either turn down the dial so it's less heat, the lowest setting you can get for the effect that you want. Use a hair heat kind of resistant product to help with the hair, and also try to do it less frequently.
Okay, is it bad for us to dye our hair?
It's not bad, no.
Okay, well, good to know.
That's okay with me.
All right, this person says, I have male pattern baldness on my edges. As a female, what can I do for hair regrowth?
So there's an entity called female pattern hair loss. So you don't have to feel bad about having hair loss that's in a similar distribution as men. Women will frequently lose hair right around their temples. And so I recommend seeing a dermatologist. You could start Rogaine at home if you want, and then you might be eligible for some of the prescription treatments that help with it.
Is it true that heredity plays a part in your hair growth or your lack of hair?
It really does, but it's complicated. It's not so easy as saying, oh, based on my mother's dad, that's what my hair is going to look like. So it's polygenic, multiple genes are involved, hard to predict.
Okay. So it's not like my dad's bald, so I'm going to be bald. It's not that.
It's not, it's more complicated.
Okay. This person says, I've been using a laser hair regrowth device and I've had good results. Please address that. Is it okay?
That is okay. There is some good evidence that it can be helpful. So these devices are called low-level laser light therapy, and you can find them on Amazon or order them from specific websites. They come in combs or caps. I like the cap the best. I think you get the best efficacy.
I have PCOS and I have hair loss. It's not patches, but it's excessive amounts every time I shower. Is there anything I can do to prevent this or lessen the amount of hair loss?
This is another common association. So imbalance in hormones can cause change in hair, and PCOS is at its base an imbalance of some of the hormones. So I think, again, talking with your OBGYN about getting the hormones regulated again, sometimes birth control or other medications can be helpful for that. And then try Rogaine.
Okay. Is there anything wrong with getting your hair cut too much? Is there anything wrong with not getting your hair cut enough?
There's nothing wrong with getting your hair cut too much. There is some danger in causing split ends or heavy hair and some traction alopecia if you don't cut your hair frequently enough. So I recommend frequent trims every couple of months, hopefully, and that can keep the hair nice and healthy.
Gotcha. Is it okay for us to use over-the-counter shampoos and things like that? Is there an ingredient that we should look at maybe and stay away from?
I think anyone is fine to try. If you've noticed that you have a bad response to something over the counter, don't use it again, but there's nothing that I would take off your list of things for shampoos.
Okay, this person's asking, is it good to wash your hair with rainwater? Will that make any difference?
I don't think it will make a difference, but I don't think it'll harm you.
Okay. This person says, I'm going through perimenopause and losing lots of hair. A friend said she took biotin when that happened to her and it helped. What do you suggest for women going through perimenopause or menopause?
There is no good data on biotin supplementation as helping with hair growth unless you have a documented biotin deficiency, which is very rare in our population because we get it through our diet and we also have bacteria in our gut that makes it. So I don't think biotin is helpful for most people. There are a couple hair care vitamins that are available that have good data. They do have biotin in it, but that's just one ingredient in a list of many. So around perimenopausal time is often when we start to see female pattern hair loss come into play. So consider a supplement like that, consider Rogaine, and you could also see a dermatologist for a prescription medication.
Okay, and I just want to, we're getting a whole bunch of things of like, is there something over the counter that I can use for my hair, like a shampoo, that kind of thing? And we have kind of said that most of the stuff over the counter is not really, they need to go see a doctor.
Yeah, Rogaine is over the counter, which is nice. You can get that. And there is some evidence for pumpkin seed oil as being helpful for hair growth as well. So obviously that's over the counter and not found to be harmful at all. So I am a proponent for that as well.
Okay. Is it bad to perm your hair more than once a year?
Bad to what, your hair?
Perm your hair.
Oh, so you do want to avoid excessive perming. It can damage your hair, but I think that's fine.
Okay, and somebody's asking, okay, someone's asking about hair rollers, pulling their hair from the root.
You have to be really careful with how tight you do them because they can cause the same thing as those tight pulling hairstyles. They can cause traction alopecia.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, your expertise. You've answered so many questions. We appreciate it. If you missed any of this, you're going to want to go back and watch this interview. It's going to be in the Who Wants to Know section of our website.